মাসে দুইটা আমার হাসপাতালে নিয়ে ভর্তি করাইলো কোম্পানি গিয়া লগে লগ যায় না অপারেশনের পরে যায় আমাদের সাথে দেখা।
Momin's hand was severed in April, but he says without his company's approval to proceed with the surgery, the doctor only stitched it back. He's been unable to work since, but there's been no insurance payout. Momin's company still pays him a basic wage of $200 a month while he waits to fix his hand.
ডাক্তারে দেখাইছে ডাক্তার আবার ডেট দিয়েছে ওই বলছে যাইব বলছে কি ও ডেট মতন দেয় না এমন ভাবে যাইব যে ডাক্তার যেদিন থাকবো না ওই দিন যাইব।
এন্ড আপনার অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট পরে লেবার কোর্টে কোনো ইন্স্যুরেন্সের জন্য ক্লেম করছিল
না।
It is difficult for the migrant worker to seek redress, mainly because that the moment he files a case in court, the employer cancels his work permit and he becomes undocumented.
Many migrant labourers stay on after their work permits are cancelled or expire to keep earning. There are more than 1 million such illegal workers in Malaysia. Being undocumented puts them at greater risk of exploitation.
A worker even can't claim for unpaid wages if he is undocumented. When they have an accident or when something happens, they cannot claim medical benefits even.
Most of Malaysia's migrant workers come from Indonesia, Bangladesh, Nepal and Myanmar. To tackle the high number of illegal foreign workers here, last year the government launched a program called 6P to grant them amnesty. More than 1 million registered to get work permits. Outside the Bangladesh High Commission, we find undocumented workers upset that they've yet to be legalized. They say thousands of Bangladeshis paid up to $1,300 each to a manpower agency called Akhwan Group to help them apply for the program. Some suspect the company swindled them. Abdul Kadir is one of those who handed them his passport for registration more than a year ago and hasn't seen it since. Kadir works in a factory in Perak State, north of the capital Kuala Lumpur, making knives for industrial and agricultural use.
I need to have my passport. Of course, I'm scared that I don't have it because immigration authorities will arrest us. That's the issue.
Kadir and 6 of his co-workers from Bangladesh are afraid to leave the factory.
Yes, I have friends who were arrested. They still haven't been released.
Despite the tough working conditions, the workers consider themselves lucky to be working for a boss who cares for their safety and pays them on time. Dave Chen helped them apply for the 6P amnesty program last year, but found the paperwork too complicated.
The Bangladeshis recommended Akhwan Group. They said it's a very big company and the boss is from Bangladesh. So I went to them. They have a big office and I saw many people handing over their passports. There were large boxes full of passports. I thought since so many people trusted them, I let them handle my case as well.
Dave paid the company, based in Kuala Lumpur, more than $5,000 to help register and legalize 7 workers.
From the beginning, I helped them to follow up with the agent. I think I went more than 10 times, almost every month. He kept delaying and it went on for more than a year. Finally, I gave up and reported this to the police.
But Dave says he's not getting much help from the authorities.
No, that is their own problem.
No, when the bosses look at the paperwork, they're not aware, they don't know how to handle it, they don't know, because
then they should report such things, you see.
So you're not aware about the situation with this company called Akhwan?
And I'm not. They might have reported to Home Ministry, not to me. I'm not aware of that.
this Mr. Sirajul Amin from Akhwan?
Yes.
Hi, my name is... We tracked down the CEO of Akhwan Group on the phone. Sirajul Amin is a Bangladeshi based in Malaysia. I asked him about the fraud allegations.
Their permit is done. Some people are advertising my name and my company name. So that's what I say. If you come to my office, you can see on your own eyes I did my job or not. That's all.
Okay, how can I make an appointment with you at your office?
Okay, right now I'm in Bangladesh now. So you tell me when you can come. I'll come back to from Bangladesh.
What about any manager there? Anybody else I can speak to before you arrive?
Can. Would you mind to SMS me your name and number? So I tell my manager to communicate with you. They will make arrangement for you. Do me a favor.
But no one from his office follows up. We chase them for 2 weeks before we get a meeting with 2 senior staff members. Dave comes along, filming with a hidden camera. I try to verify the CEO's claim that the permits are done. Instead, his staff say despite their repeated efforts over the past year, immigration authorities rejected Dave's application. But they don't know why.
You are not the only company that the approval is not out yet.
If we say we help you, we are still trying.
Okay, may I know what is the latest attempt?
Okay. This is a very sensitive issue to talk about.
If he goes, he can directly submit to that.
When is the last time you did anything and what did you do?
Okay. Even week before.
Sorry?
Week before we tried talking. You try many times already, 1 year already. Why still cannot? Okay.
You don't want us to try this.
So where are the passports right now?
But you just okay. I'm really finding difficulties to understand the issue here.
So you've submitted it, right?
I need to know what is the purpose of that question.
You come because you want to investigate it because there were allegations that we cheat them. So let's focus on the cheating part.
So why don't you want to tell me where the passport is?
I don't think it's relevant.
We talk for more than an hour. Then they finally leave the room and return with the passports for Dave's workers and a check for a full refund. They maintain most of their applications have been successful but refuse to reveal any figures. Cheap labour from countries like Bangladesh is vital to the Malaysian economy. But following concerns over problems with employment agents, Malaysia banned new work permits for Bangladeshi workers in 2007. It plans to lift the ban next year, and the 2 countries want to get rid of such agencies acting as middlemen so that hiring is done on a government level. But it hasn't stopped illegal recruitment. In May, Zahid Muhammad borrowed more than $4,000 to pay an agent who promised him a job in Malaysia in 3 months. His bags are packed, but is still waiting in his village. Next year, Malaysia is hiking its minimum basic wage for migrant workers from $180 a month to $300. That's big money for Zahid.
If I work here as a day labourer, I can earn at best $50 to $60 a month. If I go to Malaysia, I can earn around $300, $350. I can sustain my family with that kind of money. Since 2004, more than 10,000 Bangladeshi workers have returned home in a body bag, most of them under 40 years old. 400 died in Malaysia last year, and few qualified for compensation, says the Bangladesh High Commission in Kuala Lumpur. But none of that is stopping Zahid. If I can go to Malaysia, I'll come back at least 5 years later with 3 to 4 months leave. Within this time, I'll repay all my debts. I'll buy land to build a house because we don't have one. After that, I'll go to Malaysia again and work for as long as I can. Then I'll come home to Bangladesh and set up a cattle farm. It's a common dream for all migrant workers.
But the reality takes a cruel twist far too often.